Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations, where we finally get Armstrong's confession. Having picked apart his statement completely, you're pretty much going to be proved not to just be a purger of evidence, but also an accomplice as well, at this point. Let's continue on, shall we? It is true, I hid the body in la kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. I know the reason, so is that what I'm presenting here? But I did not kill him! I swear it! You must believe me! No, I believe you didn't kill him. You were forced? By who? I cannot say, or I will be amazed. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at this table? There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Well, I think we just reveal the debts then. So I think we've got the skip to the end kind of option here. What was the reason we could not refuse? Is it because your loan contract with Tender Lender? Yes, it is. You have a $500,000 debt, don't you? $500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong? Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed the money. Got him. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. Mr. Don Furio Tigre. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong. Le Tiger. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting la victime to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and la inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable. Mr. Cadeau, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. 30 minutes. Oh, what? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, trite. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Now to be continued indeed. But we're moving straight along, of course. Alright then, our second session in court. I guess he hasn't drunken all his cups of coffee yet, I guess. He's not satisfied. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. You almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal! Give it to me. Detective Gumshoe! What are you so jumpy about, Miss Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot. It's not a top knot. Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Ah! No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. How about you finish what you started off at the start of the day? Do we have time for that? Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analysed for you if you've got an hour. There we go, an hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True, without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour. You bet! In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Indeed. Finish the job. If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Right. We've got the small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe. Get me the fingerprints. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Okay. Didn't sound weird at all. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a free cup job. No problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on! He's pretty lively. Be careful. He still bites. Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. A witness, please state your name and occupation for the... He's yowling. Ah! Don't hide under the table, Mayor, unless there is room for me down there too. Would you mind? What you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got bad accents all round for you. I've got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Disappeared. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed. Maybe you just didn't hear me. I said who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. So hard to boil, door. And I'm the one that holds you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinging incident, mass boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't ya? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. The poos, they run free. Get a grip, Nick. It's running down your leg and in my face. Maybe I should have said that. Whatever. What a horrible thought. I don't know nothing about no murder. Okay then. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in the office. Got ya. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Ah, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games the guy in the blue plays. And Lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and you're just gonna borrow the cash from me. That's like double. Oh, that's one loan contract I refuse to sign. I don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with a tiger. Ha! I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute, that's really not... There's witnesses. How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. Why? You just better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. How many times has his voice changed? The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. What do you mean by irrelevant pressing? I don't understand the game's parameters. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you? Mayor, come on, help. Right then, the tiger. What does it mean by irrelevant pressing? That said, I'm not going to press this statement, because we already found a little bit of everything here, spent all my time in the office, which is completely a lie. Because after we checked evidence earlier, on December 3rd, the day of the incident, there is a note saying meet with the tiger. It doesn't say meet where, mind you, but considering the fact that that's the time of the crime and all that, we have kind of a list of tying everything together. Wait, we don't have a December 3rd on the... On the... What? I thought we'd have had a... December 3rd on the autopsy report, but we don't. Well, that's worrying, but I'm pretty sure it's this that I'm presenting here. Let's try pressing and see what happens. I want to see what the penalty is as well. You sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Caterini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says. So that's where I was. That seems like a rather sketchy schedule. Ugh. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what? Okay, so it might be pressing harder or not. We can see the penalty, so let's see what happens. Mr. Tigre, what do you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. Objection. This is a dead end, Trite, and you know it. No, it's not. Remember the rules. Objection. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you weren't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I'd never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Cadeau, if you could please. Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. The day you was talking about, I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before. But you said of a meeting on that day. So am I pressing to this one, or am I presenting? Okay, pressing works instead of presenting straight off. Objection! Risk? It's probably going to give me more of a penalty than hard pressing. Maybe I should have pressed. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg. but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left a little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd! That's the day of the murder! So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elg, because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad. He's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You're just calling me a liar. Is that what you're doing? What are you, Scooby-Doo? So you're saying that your claims to have never seen that kid before is the truth? Was that a Scooby-Doo reference or not? I said I'm dead serious. You just better believe that's the truth. Huh. I say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is why you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? You never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. What am I gonna get from this, though? I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow some cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy in my office, tender lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I ain't never ever been to the Trebian joint. Yes, here? I've got this one as well. I don't need to press him any further. I see. That all seems perfectly logical. He would arrange to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you. Right. Ah. Why the money? Why my money? I don't know how much money Phoenix Wright has. Right, why I'm saying I got him again and I don't have to press anything is because this stupid statement at the end. As it was probably fine. He's never been to Trebian. But didn't we find something in Trebian? Didn't we find something in the tender lender either? Objection! Even? Get there in the end. But Mr. Tigre, is this something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? We can place you at the scene of the crime now. Saying that you've never been there? You're becoming more untrustworthy. This is a bit easy-ish. Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. Indeed. What? Have you really never been to Trebian before? What was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around my stuff now too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no brawl controlling me. Order, order! Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? Well, listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well. Another lie? Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elg that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. Alright, we're blistering through these testimonies, unlike Mr. Armstrong. I was supposed to meet with a kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the doors to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out on the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Light, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. My way around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Ha! No problem. Anytime Trike presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. And Mr. Cattell, that's my job! Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir! The special express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know since you're paying. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? I think in a roundabout way I've got him already. We'll find out exactly what I mean by that. Next episode, I'm going to look at the evidence again in the meantime. But I think it's about to do with this statement here. I really do. And these floor plans here. But we'll get to that next episode. Join me then for more Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations, where I hope I'm correct. Do I press first or do I present? These are the questions. The answers next time. Bye-bye.